Okay, now I'm going to talk about some of the stances that I mentioned about Wing Chun in general. Here's where we started, where our feet were together, and you pull your arms back, and then you sink, your feet go out, and your heels go out, and then you sink forward a little bit with your pelvis tilts forward. And that's the basic general stance. Okay, when we talked about the Chun La stance, that's where one foot's forward, the other foot's back a little bit, and if this is your opponent, you see how you're kind of facing the opponent, where you have a front, basically, people would say left lead or right lead, and you could switch it. That's one thing that's good about Wing Chun, is you really, as you develop technique, you can have a favorite side, but the goal is to learn to use either side wherever you are. So here's our leads, different leads, and like I mentioned now, like let's say we're in the middle, and you were at an obstacle, you couldn't get to the middle, you need to step to the side. We talked about you could step to the side that way. Here, you could step to the side this way. You could step forward. You could step back. Depending on what you want. Forward and back. Forward, back, forward. If you need an extra step, take two. And just and make your footsteps match, like I mentioned. So here we go. So let's say I was here, and I took this much step, then take that much back step. This much, back, boom, back, boom. We don't want to be this. We're in a bad situation there. And we also don't want to be this. So you have terrible rooting and balance and structure, and you get knocked right down and trip. Right. So always make the steps match. As you move in balance with good posture, the steps match. Remember, and right as you can see, my heels are on the ground, my whole foot's on the ground, and you have that slight bit of pivoting, like a windshield wiper. So with your heels on the ground, in general, are pivoting, you lift up the ball of your foot just slightly, just barely off the ground. Don't go like this. You can until you get used to it, but just a slight bit, boom, boom. It's easier with flat shoes and bare feet, that way you feel the ground better and you're rooting. But as you see, just that tiny little bit of pivot is all you need. Tiny bit. You don't want to sway off, just try to work on staying rooted and solid while you pivot. Boom, 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 right. Okay, and then like I mentioned with the balls of the feet, my feet are on the ground, but as I move forward, you eventually want to move to where you explode off the back foot, or explode off the front foot, wherever you're going, And so your foot is flat, but it jumps off the ball slightly. Slow motion. So you're still using the ball of your feet to stay fluid, depending on whatever distance you want. You can move different ways. You can move diagonal, forwards, backwards, and different drills like jump rope and various jumping jacks and foot drills will help that mobility, because you want to be able to get wherever you are. You're encountering resistance, boom, 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 wherever you are. The feet move, and see, you have no favorite. Right now I'm left lead, but whoa, I got to step back, now I got right lead, bam, it doesn't matter. You just flow to where you're going. And like I said, we're going forwards and backwards, angles, and the feet move in sequence. They work as a unit to keep you in good balance. And if you end up being about 50-50, 60-40, that's fine. But we just basically want to have the feet move together, whether it's sideways, back, forward, and we do drills like that at a school too. Sometimes we'll just practice on step, 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 now back step, back step, back step, switch, step, 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 back step, side step, and then you got corner stepping, boom, boom, where you move in angles, and you just kind of make your body move. So you want to try to stay sort of grounded and sort of light, if there's a way to do it where you could bounce a little bit maybe, and just work on different drills, like you're jump roping, I don't know, don't laugh too hard, huh? But just try to stay light on your feet, whichever way you move. So that's kind of an example of the footsteps. Some part of the Wing Chun forms, you'll see things where we do a sweep, boom, and come back to the ground, boom. And that's kind of like you for your sotogari, boom, where you, boom. So you're still refining your rooting, but it's a different kind of steps, as you'll see. In the Chum Q form, we'll work on movement. Even in Sulam Tao, we just stay fixed, but you always need to have good footwork. Whatever martial art you do, continue to work on balance, rooting, and quick mobility. Mobility and stability. Just get a t-shirt. But that's kind of a general overview of Wing Chun footwork that you'll see as we work on different drills. It gives you mobility, stability, power and rooting and fluid motion. So, you can, wherever you are, you can move and balance. Thank you.